All right, guys. So another day, right, and another highlight reel, or should I say low light reel of Joe Biden basically making a fool of himself and embarrassing the country. Okay, because today Biden spoke with Putin. Okay, he met with Putin at Geneva, and it was pretty uneventful. Okay, I mean they talked about what you would think they'd be talking about, right? Ukraine. They talked about Russian election interference. They talked about cybersecurity. You know, all the normal stuff that they talked about. And really, you know, when they came out, they was just like, yeah, we talked and, you know, we discussed our points of view and blah, 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 blah. Politician talk. They ain't gonna tell you what the real deal Holyfield is. Okay, they're not, right? But, you know, it is what it is. I wasn't expecting much. Now, the media, on the other hand, they want Biden to answer some questions, okay? So after meeting with Putin, the media asked him questions, and of course, Biden does the same old thing that he always does, but this time, he tells us that, hey, they prepared a list of reporters for him to call on, like always. Take a look.
I'll take your questions, and as usual, folks, they gave me a list of the people I'm going to call on. So, Jonathan, Associated Press.
All right, guys, there you have it. He says they prepared a list of reporters for him to call on. Who the hell is they, Mr. Biden? I'm so serious. If I'm a media person, I would be asking, Mr. President, who is they? Because it sounds like they are running the country and not you. And maybe they should be up here actually answering questions. You don't really want to answer any questions. And then when you do answer questions, you always have a list of people that you want to call on. Okay? You don't want to answer questions from anybody that is going to throw you a curveball. You don't answer any of those type of questions. So if I'm the media, I'll be concerned about that. Okay? I'll be just as concerned about that as I'll be about what he said during the meeting with Putin. But apparently, Biden gets ticked off when he's thrown a curveball, because on the way out, he had a viral moment in which he lost his temper because a reporter asked Biden, as he was walking on the way out, why is he so confident that Putin/Russia is going to change their behavior? And Biden did not take that well. Take a look.
I am not going to walk away on this.
Why are you so confident he'll change his behavior, Mr. President?
Yeah, I'm not confident changing behavior. What the hell? What do you do all the time? So when did I say I was confident?
You said in the next 6 months you'll be able to determine.
What I said was, let's get it straight. I said what will change their behavior is if the rest of the world reacts to them and it diminishes their standing in the world. I'm not confident of anything. I'm just stating the fact.
But given his past behavior has not changed, and in that press conference after sitting down with you for several hours, he denied any involvement in cyber attacks. He downplayed human rights abuses. He even refused to say Alexei Navalny's name. So how does that account to a constructive meeting as President Putin framed?
You don't understand that. You're in the wrong business.
It's a summit with China next.
Cool, we need to load. Cool, we need to load quickly. Let's go. Quickly, cool.
Boy, Biden lost his cool. He blew his top. Okay? You know why? Because he's not used to answering questions, right? And guys, just imagine if that was Trump. I mean, Biden basically said, what the hell? And then goes off on a journalist. A CNN journalist said that, right? He went off on his own propaganda network, questioning their ability to do their job, saying that she doesn't belong in this business. Okay? This is what Biden said. Guys, imagine if Trump said, what the hell, right? Cursed out a journalist and then questioned her ability to do the job. The media will be running headlines. Oh, Trump is a sexist pig. He loses his temper on female journalists while being questioned about his butt buddy Vladimir Putin. That's literally what the liberal media would be saying. They be calling him a sexist. Okay? They would say he's trying to cover for Putin. Right? They would say he lost his temper. That he's a loose cannon. All kinds of things. All kinds of things. But when Biden does it, they call it a successful trip, even though he didn't really answer any questions. And he's not really telling us if Vladimir Putin is going to change.
Jeff Zeleny, you were listening as carefully as anyone. What did you think?
Wolf, it was clear when President Biden was answering Kaitlan's question there, he said he's not confident at the behavior of President Putin. But one thing he is confident in his new role on the world stage, as he considers the last several days, the last week indeed, of traveling across Europe, really leading into this point. He is leaving his first foreign trip, declaring it a success, or at least on the pathway to it. But the reality is, as he said himself, we will not know exactly if it's a success for the next 3 months, 6 months, and beyond to see if Russia changes its behavior. But, Wolf, it is quite striking to just see the confidence in his approach, in his tone, as he really handles all of this. He did not go point by point rebutting everything that Vladimir Putin said. There was a discussion among White House aides what he should talk about. But in the end, he ended up talking about at this press conference essentially what he had planned to going into it. He, certainly was comfortable in that moment, taking off his jacket, answering these questions from some top foreign policy reporters in the audience that he doesn't always call on. Wolf, as we assess this trip, this is why Joe Biden ran for president. This is why he decided to come back into the arena to challenge former President Donald Trump, because he wanted to strengthen the transatlantic alliance. He wanted to take America's democratic ideals abroad. Now he has the job, and I think the first trip out of the gate here, indeed we can call it a success, but we will see what happens on the future ones to come. We do not know that Vladimir Putin is going to change his behavior.
So as you can see, that CNN is kissing ass, but then later on in this same segment, they don't kiss ass as much, and they actually keep it real about the fact that Biden don't want to answer any questions, and that is concerning. Take a look.
Before getting on a plane, as you know, all of the really images and the narrative from this summit is set. He wanted to take that off the table. But we have seen President Biden do that frequently. What we've not seen him do is answer questions like that without his aides screaming at him to stop. I have never seen a president, covering the last 4 of them, who is so protected by his aides in terms of often not wanting him to answer some questions.
So CNN with a little smidgen of truth there. A moment of truth. And guys, ain't it amazing how the media knows that Biden doesn't want to answer any questions, but yet they're not asking, why the hell does Biden not want to answer any questions? Why the hell are they keeping him so close to chest? Why are they not letting Biden just answer the questions? Why are we not getting transparency from this administration? And these people are asking questions, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it's their fault, because the media lets them get away with that. They let them get away with not answering questions. If CNN literally ran segments like I do almost on a daily basis about how Joe Biden does not answer questions, and that is a problem, that is an issue, especially considering the fact that every time we look, Joe Biden is having a mental breakdown, right? He's having a brain fart every time we look. And the fact is that the media should probably be asking legitimate questions about, okay, what is the mental state of the leader of the free world? If the media actually did that and asked those questions, maybe you wouldn't get incidents like this where Joe Biden gets so upset and mad and snappy at questions, because he would be used to answering these questions, right? And I gotta say, we've seen Biden snap, we've seen Kamala snap, right? And dude, it's 4 or 5 months in, and they snapping. I mean, don't get me wrong, Trump snapped every now and then, but here's the thing. He did more snapping towards the end rather than the beginning, okay? And he took way harder questions. He had way more of a difficult time with the media than Biden has. The media has dealt with Biden with kid gloves, and they're getting frustrated already. It's like I told you guys, they can't answer questions, him or Kamala, right? Democrats gonna be in bad shape come 2024. And even Biden knows that he was wrong, because he came out and he apologized and said he was wrong.
I owe my last question an apology. I shouldn't have been such a wise guy with the last answer I gave. Look, to be a good reporter, you got to be negative. You got to have a negative view of life, okay? It seems to me, the way you never ask a positive question. Why, in fact, having agreement, we'll find out. We have an agreement to work on a major arms control agreement. I started working on arms control agreements back all the way during the Cold War. If we could do one in the Cold War, why couldn't we do one now? We'll see. The thing that always amazed me about the questions, and I apologize for having been short on this before. If you were in my position, would you say, well, I don't think, man, anything's going to happen. It's going to be really rough. I think it's going to really be bad. You guarantee nothing happens. You guarantee nothing happens.
So there's a value
far,
to...
there's a value to being realistic and put on an optimistic front, an optimistic face.
As you guys can see there, that's Biden off the cuff. And Biden off the cuff is just terrible, right? You know, he starts off basically saying, you guys have such a negative view on life. You journalists are just so negative. He's basically complaining about the media. He's complaining about the little softball questions that he has gotten during the first 6 months of his administration. Like, come on, Joe. Are you serious, man? This is just like when he asked, give me a break. When asked about getting rid of Trump's tariffs. Give me a break. Okay, this man is always complaining about the media. I don't understand. He's not even getting that hard of questions. And then he goes on to basically say, you guys are supposed to know that, you know, I was just putting on an optimistic face. You know, I was just saying that, Putin's going to change or whatever, because that's just what I'm supposed to say. I'm just supposed to be optimistic. You guys know I'm just putting on a front. You guys know I'm just faking. So why are you asking me real questions knowing that I'm faking? That's literally what the man said. Bro, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Guys, you know, after Trump left office, like a lot of content creators, I was concerned that this presidency would be so damn boring that I wouldn't have that much to talk about. But honestly, it's been the exact opposite. I've been able to pump out more content than ever before because he does this on a daily basis. It's nonstop with the left. It's nonstop with Joe Biden, right? It's nonstop with Kamala. They give me all the content I need to talk about. Because anytime they're questioned about anything, right? Anytime they get any scrutiny, they fall apart. And it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. This is all happening while they're getting favorable coverage from the media. So imagine what happens when the media eventually turns on them, because they will. They will have to. The media is corporate like every other company in the world, and they need to make money. And you can't make money being kumbaya about Biden all the time. You have to start doing some real journalism. And eventually they will. And when they start to actually ask real questions about the Biden administration, it's going to go downhill, man. I mean, it's already going downhill. Okay? Biden's falling apart, right? His agenda's falling apart. He can't even do anything in Congress, right? He can't get his infrastructure package passed. Democrats can't do any of the things they said they want to do. It's going to be 4 years of Biden making mistakes, fumbling and mumbling, Kamala messing up, getting frustrated, and they basically not going to pass any legislation, right? Fingers crossed they don't, okay? Or they come up with something bipartisan. I'm not one of those do nothing type people, but I'm just saying, this administration is going downhill fast, okay? So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.